Now, for those among you who are thinking about making their home more energy efficient, one man from Southampton might just be able to give you a few tips on how to actually do it. With insulation from top to bottom and a special water usage system, Adrian Pickering has revamped his 1930s house into a super home that saves resources and, importantly, money. Nicole Ris went to discover how he did it.
When you visit Adrian Pickering in Southampton, you get to see one of 200 old houses in the UK that have been transported into eco-homes. Over the past few years, the now retired electronic engineer has been busy refitting his place to exploit as little finite resources as possible.
The first things are insulation, windows, making sure that it's not drafty. Mind you, you still have to keep some ventilation going, because that's how the houses were built to assume. So simple things, like making sure that the front door is well sealed. Double glazing, that's quite important, because that's after the walls, which I did get cavity wall insulated. A bit tricky because in 1937 the cavities were quite narrow. The company did have a bit of trouble with that, and I did have to have them back. But we finally sorted it out, and I was able to check that with an infrared surface thermometer, deep one winter. And that's how I found the failures, and they confirmed it.
The house includes solar panels on the roof, and Adrian has also established a system which allows him to collect rain and groundwater, which he uses in his household.
As we get free soft water falling on the roofs of our houses around here, it's quite attractive to use it for places where soft water could be handy, which is watering plants and washing one's clothes, reducing the amount of detergent you need to use. I do have another system that I put in earlier, which actually uses water from the water table. This house is built on quite a steep slope, which leads down to a stream a few tens of metres below, on the other side of the street. And it just so happens that the water table is very shallow here, so I only needed to dig a metre or two, and there's a never-ending supply of actually, it turns out, quite clean water. And I use that to flush the toilets with, and have done for about 4 or 5 years. And again, that's a substituted water source, and about a third of the water that we use in the house is for toilet flushing, so that's quite a saving. Financially, you do make, for every cubic metre of water that you save by not pulling it through the urban water meter system outside, you not only save paying the water company for that cubic metre, but you also make a saving on the sewage charge as well, because sewage actually costs twice as much as water.
And with all the work and effort Adrian has invested in his house, I wanted to know where he gets his motivation from.
We're, as a civilization, a Western civilization, a pretty fossil fuel dependent one. And I knew even as a kid that, it's going to run out. Yes, I still have gas central heating. It is the most practical way of doing it. But when I burn the gas, I want to make the best use of the gas's energy capability as possible. For instance, I banned electric ovens from my kitchen because electricity is typically generated still these days from fossil fuels. So I put my hand up. I'm guilty, as a lot of people are. I still use fossil fuels, but I'm just trying to minimise it. And I think that's everybody's responsibility.
Nicole Ris, for That's Solent.